Hey guys, this is John Lee Hilliard from JT's Vending. I hope you guys are having an outstanding day. This video will be if about what I would do or what me and my family did if we lost all our money today. If we woke up and realized we had no money in our bank account, then there's no cash. So meaning we woke up and we had none of this. This was all gone, completely gone. We had nothing in our bank account, and we had to start over. So I had a lot of people just ask me, about Dave Ramsey's plan and was it hard to do or was it? Yes, it was hard. It was hard to do, but it changed my life. It changed my mindset around money, and it put me in a greater position to when I start to make more money, I know what to do with it. So, yes, learning something new is hard. Changing your old behaviors so that you can learn to prosper, that's hard. Being broke is easy. Living in poverty is easy. Just don't do anything. Stand still. The second law of entropy is anything. I think it's anything that it left unto itself or left alone tends to turn to destruction and chaos or something to that effect. But you get what I'm saying. Like if you leave it alone, by nature, it would be destroyed. It would destroy itself over time. Do nothing, you will destroy yourself over time. I guarantee you. So, this video is for me to explain what I would do if I woke up today, tomorrow, and I was completely broke. So, you guys know we focus on biblical principles. Our principles, we follow the Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Those baby steps is what saved my life, saved my family's life. And that's what I teach to our program, to children. That's what I teach to adults. Anybody ask me about money advice, it's straight to Dave Ramsey. So the first thing I would do if I woke up and I did not have a not have a job, didn't have any money, is I would find any job to create some income. That means I would not be sitting around waiting on things to happen or things to get better until I start doing something. My whole purpose would be for me to get out, get a job, and do the thing that I need to do to make sure that my family is covered and taken care of. And within doing it, it might more than likely be hourly pay. It might be hourly pay, an hourly job, but some income is better than no income. That's step number one. I would be like, all right, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. My wife, like, hey, you watch the kids, and I gotta go to work. Bye. I'm out washing cars, washing dishes, mopping, sweeping, doing some hourly job, um, just so I can have some income coming in. Step number two, I would definitely sit down and do a budget. Okay, I got an hourly job now. I got some income, so now I can get you know $2,000 a month coming in. Okay, $2,000 a month. Now let's budget. So meaning cut out the non-essentials. So I would automatically, my wife knows this, I would automatically cover my food, which are my four walls, are food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. Those are my four walls. Those will be covered automatically. We don't need streaming platforms. We don't need um, Pandora. We don't need none of the non-essentials for us to function each month. So now I'll do the bare minimum. But at the same time, I'll also be looking for a job that pays more or pays a salary and to try to move into that position while I'm working an hourly position. I wouldn't quit. I would just keep working, do the budget. The budget is step number two. So, step number three, I would make sure again that if we have to downsize, we would downsize to make sure that we can afford. Just so if our monthly mortgage is 2,000 a month, and we can't afford that because we're bringing in 2,000 a month, and I can't immediately get ahead. Either I would contact the bank and say, hey, can you give us a few days? Can you give us another month, an extra month? We'll be late. I'll give them kind of a heads up, like, hey, I lost my job, we lost everything, this is what's happening, and I'll just start working on it. And a lot of times, if you're not already behind in your mortgage or your rent, and you always are accustomed to paying on time, and people trust you, people know, even the banks, they know things happen, so they will give you more time. More than likely, they'll probably add on interest, but hey, it's better than losing your house. But if you're in a situation where you have too much house, then you would have to downsize. You would have to downsize. You got a 5, 6 bedroom. You might downsize to 3, if need be. But again, you don't have any money. The goal is to get some money, keep some money coming in, and keep your expenses low so that you can continue to build something. And a lot of that comes into play where people go, well, I want to be comfortable. Well, you're broke. If I'm broke and I don't have $100 to my name, then comfortable is not what I need to be. It means I need to be working and budgeting and looking at things to sell and downsize. Downsize in my house. So the next one is number 4, selling anything you don't need. Anything you don't need. Me and my wife did this exact thing. We had some sleeping bags, we had some glasses, we put everything on Facebook Marketplace. We sold it, get rid of it, man. We're trying to get out of debt. We're trying to get back on our feet. And that's what I would do. We was, Dave Ramsey make a little joke, say, sell so much stuff that your kids think they're next. That's what we did. But we always make sure that we got rid of the miscellaneous things we didn't need, and not just try to hold on to things just because we wanted to. And a lot of times, like, we stacked up a lot more money by selling stuff like miscellaneous things. So step number 5 will be to pause. So if you do get an hourly job, or you get a salary job and you're making money, pause any investing until later, until you get back on your feet to where you can catch up on your bills. Because you investing, $100 a month or $300 a month out of your paycheck or anywhere, like, you could be using that money to pay your 4 walls so you can get back on your feet. And I'm not saying stop investing for 5 years, but for 6 months to a year, man, look, you're trying to get back on your feet. It's a grind, and it's a hard hustle, but it has to be done. Because you only have 2 options. You could either get out there, grind, hustle, cut your budget, watch what you're spending, or you can just do nothing and just ask the government for it or go broke and just and live off of charity. So that's normally how it works. Because you got about 45, as of today, 45 million households in America have some form of debt. That's a lot of people. Some form of debt. And a lot of it is overwhelming. And they don't realize that they have to take it one step at a time and be patient with themselves. So a lot of them get in the debt and then they get fed up, or they go, oh man, this is too much. Forget it. I ain't gonna worry about it. They stick their head in the sand, and then they go deeper into poverty, and then they try to come back and like, I don't know how this happened. Yes, you do. You know how it happened. You gave up. And then this is an excuse I hear a lot. And I used to tell myself that until I realized it was a lie. So first of all, if you want to make sure that you want to know if your excuse is rare and special, look around and see how many people have this same excuse. Before you start lying to yourself and tell, oh, I can't do this and things are hard, and see how other many people say that. See how many people around you say the same exact thing. Just take a second and see how many people say that. It's hard. I can't get out of debt. And I can't get on my feet. Yes, you can. You just want to sit there and go, "Woe is me," and you think it's just gonna magically and God and pray about it. I'm gonna pray and God will take care of it. I'm gonna sit here and play the game and sit here in the house and relax and get on the internet and do nothing. But God will bless me. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. So though that's what I would do if I woke up tomorrow and had no money and had had no form of cash whatsoever. So I want to read real quick in Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you, wanting to build a tower, doesn't first sit down and count the cost and calculate the cost to see if he has if he has enough to continue it? Otherwise, after he has laid the foundation and cannot finish it, all of the onlookers will begin to ridicule him, saying, "This man started to build and wasn't able to finish." So, that's the parable um, that Jesus used, and like the cost of following Jesus when he was doing his parables. That was one of the parables that he used, saying, budget. Simply, budget. He says, for which of you wanting to build a tower, so in place of the tower, buy a house or buy a car, doesn't first sit down and calculate the cost to see if you have enough to do the thing you need to do? That sounds like a budget to me. It's straight up budget. And he said, if not, when you lay the foundation or you get started on your way to what you're wanting to do, and other people laugh at you like, look at this idiot, didn't even look at the cost of what it was going to cost to get this thing or buy this house or buy whatever the item you're trying to get to, and you weren't able to finish because you didn't sit down and do a budget to see how far you could go and how much you had, how much resources you had to do the thing you need to do. So Jesus is telling you, we know he spoke in parables. You could easily look at this parable and understand that he's saying, like, sit down and count the cost of what you're doing.
Hey guys, truly sorry for interrupting you watching this video. Thank you for just subscribing to our channel and watching our videos. But we want to come to as now, as they do in Second Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7 says, God loves a cheerful giver. He loves someone who gives what's decided in their heart, not out of obligation or compulsion. So we're coming right now to ask you guys to give to our ACER program, which is a step into reality. And you can go to our website here, and at the very top of the page, you'll see a donation button. Click that donation button, and we would truly appreciate you give what God puts on your heart to give. And what we do, we take those resources and we go into low-income areas and we teach biblical principles about personal finance to try to help the young men and women reduce some of the generational poverty that will come if they don't have this foundation of personal finances. And we're adults. We know how hard it is when you don't know how to manage the money you do have coming in. And when children are growing up, they form bad money habits, and that leads to generational poverty. So, guys, thank you so much. Please give whatever your heart desires. We thank you so much again for being subscribed. And back to the show. Have a blessed day.
Count the cost of your daily bread. Like, how you're meeting your daily needs should be calculated. It shouldn't be that YOLO statement and then you end up real broke and then you upset at a lot of people. Because I'll tell you from experience, I was extremely angry. I was the most angry when I was broke. I was so freaking the anger and the frustration that I had was it was it felt like it was just, it felt horrible and it was unnecessary. But I blamed others because I was broke. I blame others because I didn't have enough wisdom and knowledge to sit down and count the cost of what I was doing and how I was living. Jesus is telling you, set a budget, man. Sit down, set a budget. Because so what happens is when you're making money, you don't have any plan with your money. You just, like me, you grow up thinking, I'm gonna look fake rich, so I'm gonna end up I'll end up real broke. You don't think the real broke part. You just think, I'm gonna buy me a bunch of stuff because I deserve it. You spend all your money, you go broke. Your bills are due, and you've taken out loans. You've taken out, like I did, three cash payday loans, a title loan, an auto advance loan, all these loans, and I was up to my eyeballs in loans and debt. And after doing all that stuff, borrowing all that money, trying to keep up my lifestyle, you know what I did then? I prayed. Can you tell me what I did wrong? I'll tell you what I did wrong. I tried to borrow my way out of debt by borrowing more money from more people and then still having to pay that back. And then, when everything hit the fan, then I prayed. I go to altar call. I go to church and go, Lord, please help me in my finances. What if I would have seek wisdom first? What if I would have learned how to do a budget, how to be wiser with my resources that God has blessed me with? If I would have had a better mindset and the wisdom, I wouldn't have ended up in that debt. And one, I would have been in the Word more and would have read that Jesus telling you, count the cost. Sit down and count the cost of what you're doing and how you're living. Because if not, you won't be able to continue living that way. It's called going broke. It's called having no resources. And then you stick your hand out and waiting on charity, and then you get mad at other people because they won't give you nothing. They don't have to. Like, God tells us as Christians to be generous. He didn't say be stupid. He said be generous. God loves a cheerful giver. Meaning, we can give to whoever we want. Meaning, you don't dictate who I give my hard-earned money to. God does not say, oh, give it to the church only. Oh, give it to people who ask only. No. He gives me the ability to discern who I want to give to. I just need to give. That's where people get confused. They assume because they see us as Christians and they see us being generous and kind, they go, well, they might be stupid enough to give me something. Nope. I ain't giving you nothing. I give when it's in my heart. And I don't give at the detriment of my family or my bank account going in the negative because somebody wants something. No. So again, you guys, you have to get out there and get to it and hump and put in some work, because I believe everything this Bible says. This Bible, I've been following a lot of this stuff for 2 years and growing stronger and stronger in my faith and sticking to this word. And when it came down to finances, it's so many scriptures in here, at least 2,000, the minimum, that tells you how to manage your money, how to be a good steward of God's money. And everybody assumes, oh, if you're a Christian, you got to be poor. No, you got that backwards. God intended for man to subdue the earth, trample over, multiply on the earth. That's why we pray, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because the kingdom of heaven, the earth is just an extension of that, and it should have been a place a protected place for God's people. But when Adam and Eve sinned, they brought sin and death into the world. Therefore, the world is now a lot more strenuous, but we still have to have faith in him, and we still have to work with our hands. We still have to get out there. Genesis chapter 12, verse 11, I think it says, man shall eat bread by the sweat of his brow until the day he returns to the dust of the earth. Something to that effect. But it's telling you, you're going to eat. You will eat bread. And what do we call bread? Dough. Money. When we say, let me hold some dough. Let me hold some bread. We talking about money. Man will eat bread from the sweat of his brow until the day he returns to the dust of the earth. We will work and add value to other people's lives, earn money until the day we return to the dust of the earth. Now, I'll tell you that 65 and 70-year-old retirement stuff, that ain't for me. That's a Western ideology that I don't rock with. My wife knows. I will always make sure I add value to someone else's life so I can get paid. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We truly appreciate everything you guys have done to help us grow. We still are, when we come up on our cash giveaway time, we will definitely put a video short out to let everybody know that we're coming close to that time. So thank you guys so much, and get out there and work hard, save some money, and the goal is to stack some of this paper, baby. The goal is this. This is the goal when we're providing for our family. And you notice, I didn't say this is the love. This is the goal to stack paper so that we can provide for our families. We can be a witness and minister to others how good God is, and we can show God that we can be good stewards. He calls us to be good stewards of his resources that he blessed us with. This is money that God has blessed me to get my butt up and earn. And if you think Jesus was poor, remember now that the one that snitched on him, Judas Iscariot, he was the treasurer. The disciples had one single person to carry their money, to keep all the money and resources on them. So if Jesus was so poor, what poor person walk around with somebody to hold a bag, somebody to hold a treasurer or accountant? Make sense? Read the word for yourself, and I guarantee you'll find out. But don't let the world fool you into thinking that this money is evil. Money is not evil. Money is inherently good. God has placed us here to bring forth, to move his kingdom forward with our resources. Everyone in the Bible he blessed with resources so that they can do his will. Because one thing God knows is we're human, and it's extremely hard for us to focus on doing his will, and we're hungry. It's extremely hard for a man to focus on to focus on doing God's will, and he's focused on feeding his family. He's focused on paying his bills. He's focused on getting gas. He's focused on buying food and clothes and shelter. If you can't, God knows us. We're humans. And if he bestows on you enough finances to be good stewards, you need to be a good steward of the resources God has blessed you with. If not, when it's taken away, your hand out. Now you're looking sick, but you didn't do what you were supposed to do when God blessed you with the resources, because you thought that Satan had you thinking that money was evil. That's what Satan had you thinking. But the love of money is the root of all evil. But Satan tricks you to think, if I have too much money, then I'm evil, and I don't want to be evil. No, that's a stupid logic. I guarantee you. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Sorry for getting into a rant, man, but that's been on my heart. Just trying to explain to people what I would do if I went broke at day one. And I guarantee you guys, you can stick to all 5 of these and follow Dave Ramsey's plan. You can go to our website. We teach kids. We teach kids this through like an interactive board game. So we want to continue to show and spread that financial literacy message, man, that you can change your entire situation just by having the right mindset around wealth and money and you can literally be the one to break the cycle of generational poverty. So thank you guys so much. Au revoir, à bientôt, à la prochaine.